All right, we're back with example 3. So example 3 says simplify each side before solving. Solve the inequality and graph the solutions. So now we're dealing with some inequalities that are a little bit more complicated than the ones we were doing before. They still have variables on both sides, but we're just going to pretend these are like equations, okay? So we're just going to solve them the same thing. The only thing we have to remember is if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to flip that sign, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is simplify this because we have some distributive property going on. So I'm going to go 2 times k and then 2 times negative 3. So 2 times k is 2k. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Oh, I need to simplify this too. Oh, I guess I have to simplify it next time. I should have simplified it at the same time, but that's okay. And then I need to simplify the numbers on this side. So you have to simplify both sides of the inequality before you move things from side to side, okay? And then 6 minus 3 would be 3 plus 3k. Perfect. So now both sides of the inequality are simplified. Now we just need to get the variables on the same side first. I'm going to move the smaller. So I'm going to move this 2k to the other side through subtraction. That cancels. I'm left with 3, and what is this? 3k minus 2k is just k. Ooh, that's nice. And then we got to get rid of the 3. So we do the inverse operation, which would be subtraction. A negative 6 minus 3 would be negative 9. And then the last thing is just that k needs to be on the left side. And right now the alligator's eating the negative 9, so it needs to continue to do that. Okay, and now we're good to go. That is our answer. Now we just need to graph it. So is it going to be a closed circle or open? And it's going to be open, so negative 9 would be right here. An open circle, and k is less than negative 9, so it's all the solutions that are this way. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and try the next example, 3b. Ooh, we're dealing with a lot of decimals here. Awesome. So on this one, it just so happens that the variable is over here by itself, so we're going to move this one over. And it just so happens that it's smaller too, so that's like a double win. There's nothing to simplify on each side, so it seems like it's already simplified. Okay, so we just subtract. And we end up with 0.5, so 0.5y. Okay, minus 0.5. Ooh, this is going to be fun. And then we just divide by 0.5 to both sides. And the wonderful thing about this is 0.5 divided by 0.5 is just 1. So our answer is negative 1. And our variable's always already on the left, so that's perfect. Then we just need to graph it. So is this open or closed? And it is closed. And y is greater, so it's all the solutions that are this way on the graph. Perfect. So now it is your turn to try these problems. So I want you to check it out for example 3a, solve and graph, and also check it out for example 3b. So here is my friend the pause dragon flying in, and remind you that you need to pause your device. Go ahead and work out these 2 problems. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about the problems together. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Let's see how you did. So there's a lot of simplification that we need to do here. So I'm going to do that distributive property and do it twice. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative r is negative 5r is greater than or equal to 3 times, and then we have to do distributive property on this side as well. So 3 times r and 3 times negative 2. So 3r and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Okay, now it's time to get the variables on the same side. So I'm going to move the smaller one. The smaller one is a negative 5r. So the inverse operation to that would be a positive 5r. That cancels. We're left with 10. We have 3r plus 5r, which is 8r minus 6. And then we're just going to isolate the r, so we got to get rid of this 6. That's 16. And then we're trying to figure out r, so we got to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which would be division to both sides. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And then the last thing, we just have to swap the sides so the variable's on the left side. And the alligator's eating the 2, so it needs to eat the 2 again, and there's our answer. R is less than or equal to positive 2. So now it's time to graph. Is that going to be an open circle or a closed? And it's going to be a closed circle, right? And R is less than 2, so it's all the numbers that are this way. Perfect. So that's that. So if you got that right, awesome job. Let's go ahead and look at the second one. Ooh, a lot of decimals. Holy goodness. So, but what we need to do first is we need to simplify this side of the equation. So we actually need to add these two decimals together. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. So 1.9 plus 0.5. 9 plus 5 is 14. Write the 4, carry the 1, bring down the decimal. 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's actually 2.4x. So this ends up being 2.4x minus 0.3 is less than 0.3x plus 6. So now this side of the inequality is simplified, and also this. So now it's time to get the variables on the same side. I'm going to move the smaller, which is 0.3. That cancels. This ends up being 2.1x. Okay, just rewriting. And then I'm going to add, got to get this x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of this by adding 0.3 to both sides. That cancels. I'm left with 2.1x is less than, that's just 6.3. And then to get x by itself, we have to divide both sides by 2.1. All right, and I'm pretty sure that that is 6.3 divided by 2.3 is just 3, right? Because 2.1 times 3 is 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and there's 1 decimal, so there you go. Yep, it is. So it goes in, yeah, 2.1 goes into 6.3 3 times. And there we have our answer. And it's nice because the variable is already on the left side. And, okay, open circle or closed circle, we have to graph. It's open, and x is less than 3, so it's everything this way. So if you did all of those things right, you were amazing. Yoka nikimashita, you did a wonderful job, and we'll see you in a little bit with example 4.